to Eat, Drink, Explore Media's Market Fresh, live every Thursday evening right here on Krush 92.5 FM. Now, broadcasting live from the heart of downtown San Luis Obispo, here's your host, Randall White.
Yes, indeed. A very good evening to everyone. 5 o'clock straight up as we kick off another live edition of Market Fresh, as was just announced here on Krush 92.5, the Central Coast's absolutely best radio station. You can catch us here each week from 5 until 6 o'clock. It is the second day of May 2013, another near perfect day here on the Central Coast. In fact, it was gorgeous. I went and had late lunch at a Natural Cafe. They had the windows open out toward Higuera Street. And I just kicked back there and watched some of the people stroll by. That was fun. That's what San Luis Obispo, I've watched it evolve over the last 20, 30 years or so, and the amount of space on the sidewalks dedicated to al fresco dining has really increased. Back in the day, there were only like a handful of places that were really known for their patio dining. Now you can't throw a rock without hitting an outdoor chair. It's great. That's exactly how it should be. My vision is to close one of the main downtown streets and open it up sort of like a pedestrian mall, but that's sure to hit resistance. All right. We're going to check the Market Fresh forecast coming up just a little bit later. I am your host, Randall White, sharing my passion for local and sustainable foods each and every week. You can watch a video simulcast of the show online. That is live. It's on the Market Fresh page at eatdrinkexplore.com, or you can use one of our free smartphone or tablet apps. Easy ways to go about that. We are high above Higuera Street looking down on the setup right now for the farmers market. We've got some corn grilling and some tri-tip, I'm sure, is just around the corner. Soon, when they shut down the street in just a few minutes, the vendors will start setting up to sell produce as well. We're on the stretch where most of the organic produce is sold, which is nice and appropriate. Just ahead in our fresh news segment, we are learning which produce items are best to buy organic or pesticide-free, and which ones are typically okay, really, to buy the conventional method. General testing shows not a lot of residue, and so if you're looking to save money, you'll want to hear this list because organic products are typically more expensive. So now you know which ones to buy in which category. Also ahead on this week's show, we'll take a look at how farmers are coming together to provide healthy, locally grown food for a project known as GleanSLO. Also, we'll introduce you to the author of a new cookbook that is taking the nation by storm, and she's from right here in SLO County, and the recipes are too. How do you like that? And finally, we're giving away a pair of tickets to Sunday's Flavor of SLO at the historic Jack House on Marsh Street in downtown San Luis Obispo. Simply like us on Facebook or Twitter, username Eat, Drink, Explore, and then post a comment mentioning Flavor of SLO, okay? And as always, we round out the show with a look at tonight's Higuera Street Market, including the entertainment lineup and our vendor spotlight with our on-the-street reporter, cruise director, Jen Young. All right. The Thursday evening Market Fresh program comes to you right here from the heart of San Luis Obispo between Osos and Morro, just above Pete's Coffee. It's really easy to find. This hour of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio is brought to you by the great group of people at Eberly Winery in Paso Robles, open daily from 10 in the morning until 6 o'clock at night with complimentary wine tasting and cave tours. Brigit, do you have a recipe from Eberly, from that region? Oh, good. They're profiled in the book. So we'll get to that in just a little bit. So that's always nice when your sponsor ties in with the book you're highlighting. Hey, voted by Wine Spectator as one of the best tours on the Central Coast, Eberly Winery is located on 46 East in Paso Robles. You can log on to eberlywinery.com. All right, the fresh news report, great guests, the weather report, and another fun night at the downtown San Luis Obispo Farmers Market, all straight ahead on this edition of Market Fresh. I'm your host, Randall White. Keep it right here on Krush 92.5.
It's Market Fresh on Krush 92.5 FM.
Can we have your attention for a moment? Eat, Drink, Explore Media has an important date we want to share with you. Saturday, July 13th. We invite you to join us at a craft beer and food event like no other. At last count, generous samples from more than 70 breweries will be paired with local culinary treats for the 2013 Breast Fest along San Francisco's waterfront at Fort Mason. Going on its 14th year, the annual Breast Fest has grown dramatically, raising money for an incredibly important cause, providing free, complimentary treatments for women battling breast cancer. The Charlotte Maxwell Clinic offers services such as acupuncture, massage, organic foods, and transportation. The clinic's core mission to provide relief from the terrible side effects of cancer and its treatments. Eat, Drink, Explore Media is very proud to be among the main sponsors for this year's event. For more information, go to thebreastfest.org. All right, time now for the news here on Eat, Drink, Explore Radio. We call it the Market Fresh Grapevine. Here's the latest news affecting the fresh food and beverages you love. The lineup for this year's Sunset Savor the Central Coast is now set, and advance tickets just went on sale for the late September event focused on local flavors, of course. This month only, the organizers are offering a very deep discount, $100 for the entire weekend pass. Those are typically priced at $150, so that is a big savings. New this year will be a 5K and 10K run benefiting a local cancer program, I believe out of the Avila Beach area, as well as adventure tours and a farm-to-table stage where local chefs and food experts share their talents. We'll have to have them on the show here to talk about some of those things. Several of the favorites will return as well, like the Hearst Castle Dinner and the Sunset Western Wine Awards at Pismo Beach. More information available at savorcentralcoast.com. Time for our weekly look at the California Crop Report. Almond growers have spent the past week or so cleaning up branches and trees knocked down by recent winds in the upper Sacramento Valley. Yet despite that, a new USDA production forecast for the 2013 California almond season is estimated at 2 billion pounds. Yeah, wow. That is a 6% bump above last year's production totals. You know, 100% of the almonds that are made here in the United States are made right within California's borders. Very cool. Meanwhile, growers of stone fruit are thinning the crops, we're told, on cherry, nectarine, and peach trees. I can't wait for stone fruit season. And the harvest continues for Valencia oranges. Those are the orange juice version oranges. And Hass avocados here in Central and Southern California. And as I always say, it is Hass like brass. Okay, when you go shopping at the farmer's market tonight or hit up whichever day and location is your personal favorite, you'll notice a mix of local farmers, some of whom offer organic ingredients, others who offer pesticide-free, and still some who are farming with conventional means. Well, the organic and pesticide-free versions can often be more expensive, but in many cases, well worth the extra cost. Each year, the Environmental Working Group puts out a list called the Dirty Dozen, highlighting those produce items that, on average, test for the highest pesticide levels. The group also lists something called the Clean 15. Those are items where pesticide use or genetic modification are not a pressing concern. And joining us on the line right now is Renee Sharp. She's the Director of Research with the Environmental Working Group to give us the lowdown on these different items, hopefully save you some money when you're out shopping. Renee, welcome to Market Fresh.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so I love this list, by the way. I've been using it for well over a year now, and it really comes in handy. Let's start with the Dirty Dozen, which is this year's the Dirty Dozen Plus, right?
Correct.
And what is the plus all about?
Right. So what we do is every year we take USDA's own test results, because the USDA tests fruits and vegetables for the pesticide residues on the produce after they've been either washed or peeled. So how you would typically prepare it for eating. So we take this data and we analyze it and basically come up with a ranking of the produce which are the cleanest in terms of having the least pesticide residues, and the dirtiest, those that have the most pesticide residues. And the list changes a bit every year because we have new data to work with, and pesticides, come on and off the market. So this year, topping the Dirty Dozen list are apples.
And that's really common, right? Apples are often near the top?
Yeah, that is often the case. There's a lot of pesticides, different kinds of pesticides that are sprayed on apples before and after harvest, and even, fungicides. So when they're in cold storage, the idea is that they'll stay fresher longer, though, of course, you don't actually need to do that because we have organic produce, which is just fine. Apples often top the list, and this year, following apples are celery and cherry tomatoes. And I can tell you the rest of, if you want to hear the whole list, or you can go to our website, www.ewg.org.
And we have a link to that. I'll just let people know. We have a link to Environmental Working Group's site. It'll take them directly to the listings, and that is under our program summary for today's Market Fresh. Continue, Renee.
Oh, perfect. Thanks so much. So we look at pesticide levels, basically, primarily. But we also look a little bit at the most toxic pesticides. There are some kinds of pesticides which are really known to be particularly toxic. Some of them are even actually banned in the country, but they're still showing up on the produce that we have here.
Is that where strawberries come in?
No, actually, in this case, it's collards and kale and summer squash. They are contaminated at pretty significant levels, really, with organochlorine and organophosphate pesticides, some of which are actually permitted to be used, even though they're quite toxic, and some of them which actually have been banned.
And those are the plus items.
Correct. So basically, these are ones where the levels of these, the concentrations aren't as high as, say, some of the other fruits on the Dirty Dozen list, but because they are contaminated with particularly toxic pesticides, we basically add them to a list, to the Dirty Dozen list, because they're of special concern.
Renee, we're in strawberry growing country. A big chunk of the U.S. Strawberries come from the Central Coast here, and I'm wondering, I've noticed at Farmers Market, I will ask the growers if the strawberries are organic, and in many cases, they'll tell me no, but they're pesticide-free. But the main offending chemical to worry about with strawberries isn't a pesticide, right? It's a fungicide?
We kind of group them all together.
I see.
We call them pesticides because, to most people, a pesticide is an herbicide, is a fungicide.
Right.
So we just call them pesticides for simplicity.
I was just wondering if they can get away with that. If they can say, "Oh no, we're pesticide free," when they are pesticide free, but they still used that. How they wrap the fields in that plastic and then they inject the soil.
Yeah, that's a question. My understanding is most people who are calling themselves pesticide-free, basically they're not using pesticides, but either they haven't gotten certified because it actually it's kind of an expensive proposition, or they're transitioning to organic, and there has to be this waiting period if you're going from conventional.
And hats off to them for trying that. We have about a minute left. Can you quickly run down the list of the clean ones? We definitely want to highlight those.
Sure, absolutely. So the clean ones, the ones with the least amounts of pesticides, include asparagus, avocados, cabbage, cantaloupe, corn, eggplant, grapefruit, kiwi, mangoes, mushrooms, onions, papayas, pineapples, sweet peas, and sweet potatoes.
That's like a list of my favorite
There you
stuff.
go. You're totally set.
And we should let people know that a couple of those, corn, I know in particular, is a huge GMO crop, but that's mainly feed corn and the corn used to make like corn oils and stuff like that.
Correct. There are some varieties of sweet corn that GMO, but not as many.
Yes. Well, like you said, all the information is available online. Renee Sharp, Director of Research for the Environmental Working Group. Thank you so much for putting out this list each year.
Thank you so much for having us.
Keep up the good work.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Stick around, everyone. In 15 minutes, we're headed to a newly certified organic farm here on the Central Coast. You're listening to Market Fresh on Krush 92.5.
It's Market Fresh on Krush 92.5 FM.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit PesticideFreeLawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out PesticideFreeLawns.org today.
Can we have your attention for a moment? Eat, Drink, Explore Media has an important date we want to share with you. Saturday, July 13th. We invite you to join us at a craft beer and food event like no other. At last count, generous samples from more than 70 breweries will be paired with local culinary treats for the 2013 Breast Fest along San Francisco's waterfront at Fort Mason. Going on its 14th year, the annual Breast Fest has grown dramatically, raising money for an incredibly important cause, providing free, complimentary treatments for women battling breast cancer. The Charlotte Maxwell Clinic offers services such as acupuncture, massage, organic foods, and transportation. The clinic's core mission to provide relief from the terrible side effects of cancer and its treatments. Eat, Drink, Explore Media is very proud to be among the main sponsors for this year's event. For more information, go to thebreastfest.org.
Market Fresh, broadcasting live from the heart of downtown San Luis Obispo. Here's your host, Randall White.
And a very good evening, everyone. 5:19 now the time. Great to have you with us here on the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program. I am your host, Randall White. And, there is an event coming up this coming Saturday here in San Luis Obispo County. It is the annual Apple Blossom Festival, which takes place at SLO Creek Farms. You know, when you are driving on Highway 101, we'll just assume you're driving south out of San Luis Obispo toward Pismo Beach. On the left-hand side, you see acres and acres of apples, and beautiful when they're in bloom, and also beautiful when the fruit's hanging on the trees. You can look over there at them and see the bright red apples available. It is the location where you might find yoga on any given day. You might pick your own herbs or your own apples or your own vegetables. Lots of really unique out-of-the-box projects are taking place at this location, and that's exactly what you'll find on this coming Saturday for the Apple Blossom Festival. And joining us right now in the studio is Robin Gable. She is the co-owner of SLO Creek Farms. And Robin, welcome to Eat, Drink, Explore. Eat, Drink, Explore's Market Fresh. Great to have you here.
Thank you. Great to be here.
This is the third annual?
Yes.
So have you found yourself kind of tweaking it each year?
Yes, very much so. Very much so. Yeah.
How is it different this year than last year? Are you adding things or subtracting?
We're actually doing a little bit of both. We're adding my daughter Ashley, who's the brains behind the whole thing, who markets everything and dreams everything up.
Ashley's great, by the way. When I send an email to you guys, she's always like, boom, right back with an answer.
She is on it. She is really on it. And anyway, so this year we are doing, we're having like an art contest. So we've opened up the orchard, and a lot of artists and photographers have come out and painted or taken photographs in the orchard, and some of those will be entered into a contest where people can vote on, and then they get to win some prizes and probably like a season's pass to pick apples at our orchard, that sort of thing.
Well, I like that. I love that you do that. You do with what so many people try to do today. It's the trend, really, to connect with where your food comes from and that sort of thing. You've been doing this for a long time now. I remember back when I was with KCOY, we sent Patty Pyburn out to your farm, and she was out there talking about, hey, if you come out now, you get a free bag of apples for this, that, or the other. I forget what you were doing for that given event, but you really utilize that land. It's not just sitting there with trees on it.
No, and we just are so in awe and so blessed that we actually own this property and get to steward it and share it with people. And that's really our heart, that people can come out and enjoy it. And a lot of people live in apartments or things like that. And so they can just come out and have a day at the farm, and they don't have to buy anything. They can just have a picnic and hang out if they want.
And you're working toward organic certification. We just had a guest on the show talking about which produce items are part of the Dirty Dozen.
Right.
Apples were at the top of the list. And so hats off to you for working to go organic, because that's with lists like that, people are looking for your apples.
Yeah, we're really excited about that, because we just tell people to come out, pick their apple, wipe it off on their jeans or whatever, and take a bite. And they don't have to worry about pesticides or chemicals or anything.
That's fantastic. How long has that been in the works that you've wanted to switch that direction?
Oh, since for 4 years. Yeah. We've owned this for about 10 years. We leased it out. It was a commercial orchard, and then we kind of took charge about 4 years ago and turned it into U-Pick. To invite people on to be able to enjoy it with us. And from that moment on, there has not been anything sprayed on it or used that would harm anybody in any way.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, let's talk about the event on Saturday. Is there a fee?
No.
There's no fee?
No fee.
So where on the Central Coast do you ever get to go to a festival where there's no fee?
SLO Creek Farms, I guess.
I told you, when she came into the studio today during the commercial break, I said, I just love what you're doing there. You really, and I couldn't come up with the word. She goes, out of the box? And I said, exactly. Out of the apple box in this case, right?
Right.
So there will be live music there. Tell me a little bit about Natalie Lola and her awesome backup band.
She is just so sweet and so wonderful. She's come out and sung before with somebody we've had previously at our Apple Blossom festivals, and he moved and she's continued. So we get passionate about people and invite them into our family, so we're excited to have her back.
Oh, that's fantastic. And so people will have free music.
Yes.
And then what are some of the other, so it's 3 hours, is that right?
Yes, 1:30 to 4:30.
1:30. So during those 3 hours, they'll get music. is there food available there, or do you encourage picnics? Or
Well, people can bring picnics. There will be food there.
Mm-hmm.
There will be some wine tasting. A little bit. We have.
Well, it's the Central Coast, right?
Yeah. And we have what we call our Applelicious, which is our apple cider with some spiced rum that we'll be serving, and people can purchase that if they choose to. So, and then we also have our GleanSLO booth that'll be out there, which is more healthy-oriented GleanSLO smoothies and raw food products for people that want a healthier snack.
I think I've had your smoothie before out at Avila Beach at the Fish and Farmers Market. You sold those juices there, right?
Right. And we're doing that again.
You use an industrial kitchen from the Kennedy Club, I think.
Yes.
Do you still have to do that because that new law passed now?
Yeah, you do until you sign up, under the other law, which
I see.
We haven't done.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay, well, that's great. And then let's talk a little bit about the walk, the Apple Blossom Walk that benefits GleanSLO.
Yeah, we're really excited about this. It's just like a little 1 mile walk, and you can wander around the orchard, and we kind of have a little trail for you to follow and give you a bottle of water. It's $5. It goes to support the food bank and GleanSLO, and you get to enjoy the ambiance and at your own pace. I
had not heard of GleanSLO until my Sunday co-host Patty Pyburn told me, Randall, you have to have these GleanSLO people on the show. And I said, well, you know what? I think we are sort of tangentially because we're having the Apple Blossom Festival on. And when I looked them up, I thought, well, these people just have it zeroed in. This is exactly what I'm all about. It is bringing fresh, locally grown produce to the children in the schools, right?
Yes, and they are so amazing. That is probably the number one best thing we've ever done for our orchard is to partner up with the food bank. We did that our very first season. We donate. We have a certain block that we give them every year, and GleanSLO comes out, and they get volunteers, and then they distribute it.
Are there any, do you ever run into any problems with laws when it comes to that? I was talking to a produce department manager here in San Luis Obispo, and he said they would love to get rid of some of their produce right when it's getting near the stage where they don't feel really comfortable selling it because it could go rotten so quickly. So they'd like to give it to food banks and that sort of thing, but they worry about legal ramifications of doing that. And I thought, well, that's a bummer. That's something that really needs to be addressed and quickly so that we can get some of this perfectly fine food to the people who are hungry.
Well, I think GleanSLO, I think they figured it out. Yeah, they figured it out.
Good for them.
So
I think that's great. And so by buying water for the walk, that's how they make their money.
Oh, no, you pay $5 for the walk.
Oh, okay,
and then
I get it.
The water's provided.
Right.
And then you get the little map and get to wander around. We're also doing an auction where we have 30 people who have donated things, anywhere from a painting to a bracelet to a massage to, people have been so generous, and all that will be to raise funds for the food bank and GleanSLO.
All right, so here you go. The family wants to do something. You don't want to spend a lot of money. 1:30 to 4:30 at SLO Creek Farms. We have a link at eatdrinkexplore.com under our Market Fresh summary for today. Robin Gable, thank you so much for joining us. It was easier than you thought, huh?
Yeah.
Going at the end of the commercial break, she goes, I don't know about this. I might have to run over to Giuseppe's afterwards and have a glass of wine. So you should do that anyway. It's a great place to eat. So, Robin, take care. Stick around, everyone. We are learning the art of wine country cooking coming up next, and it's all new. In fact, the book says so. It's the new Wine Country Cookbook. You're listening to Market Fresh here on Krush 92.5. I'm your host, Randall White. Talk to you soon.
It's Market Fresh on Krush 92.5 FM.
California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CALUV.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CALUV.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit PesticideFreeLawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out PesticideFreeLawns.org today.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
Market Fresh, broadcasting live from the heart of downtown San Luis Obispo. Here's your host, Randall White.
Correct, 5:33 now the time on this beautiful Thursday evening. Wow, it is one of those nights the farmers market will be packed downtown. I am absolutely positive, shoulder to shoulder on certain stretches. But there's so much great energy at the Thursday night farmers market in San Luis Obispo. You want to be a part of it. So come on down here, join us. We're high above Pete's Coffee, just between Osos and Morro. You can see the lights on in here, and we are broadcasting live until 6 o'clock. That's right when they can start selling the food at the market. The produce, they ring the bell, I think, at 6:10. And then, but they'll give you samples ahead of time, so why not come a little early and get a sample or two? Hey, you want to go to Flavor of SLO? It's this coming Sunday. What a fun event that is going to be. We're giving away a pair of tickets today and a pair of tickets on our Sunday morning show, 8 to 10, also here on Krush 92.5. So this is what you need to do right now. Go to your Facebook page, whether you're listening on the phone or wherever you may be. I mean, pull over if you're driving. But go to your Facebook page or your Twitter account, or both, and you just need to like, eat, drink, explore. And then when you go, and then post something and make sure you tag Flavor of SLO in there, okay? And so it's really easy to do. If you're on Twitter, all you need to do is include Flavor of SLO 2013 is their account, and ours is Eat, Drink, Explore. And so just tag us in a tweet, and we'll pick one, and you have 2 tickets to the event. That'll be lots of fun. All right, let's get to the topic at hand right now. We are talking wine country recipes, all from the mind of Brigit Binns. It is the new Wine Country Cookbook. You'll see it at a number of wineries in the Paso Robles area as you go wine tasting. It's a beautiful book, well laid out, with a lot of history from the area. And then mixed in between all of this history are some fantastic recipes that really highlight the flavor of the Central Coast. And Brigit joins us in studio right now. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Randall.
Yeah, and how exciting. The other day you sent me the little note that you were front page on HuffPost Food.
I'm a lucky girl, I tell you.
HuffPost Food is one of the main sources for food news nowadays. You probably saw a big boost in web traffic that day, huh?
I have sworn to myself not to check my ranking on Amazon Daily.
That's hard to do. When you're doing well, it's fun to go in there. At last check, did you see? Were you on there?
It went from 67 to number 8 in food and wine.
Because of the HuffPost?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. Number 8. Mm-hmm. And you're sitting here in our studio, our humble Eat, Drink, Explore, Market Fresh studio.
Where else would I want to be?
Well, you have a heavy Central Coast focus in this book. And I imagine since we are such foodies here on the Central Coast, no matter where you live in the country, you want to be a part of it. And I imagine your sales are good countrywide?
I think of it as a regional book. You know, I've done a lot of national books before, but this is where I want to be right now, and I'd like my book to be here too. I don't know. We'll see.
You wanted to highlight your home, right?
I did.
And so you're married to Casey Biggs. As a lot of people listening right now will know him as the Paso Wine Guy or the Paso Wine Dude, and with those really funny spots that they put together up there.
He's a funny guy.
He's really funny. And I have to say, Adam Montiel's bit when he was running for SLO ambassador, Casey had a cameo on that I just thought was hysterical.
That was funny.
But so he's an East Coast guy, right?
Well, that's the whole issue, isn't it, Randall?
Yeah, and so it's East Coast, West Coast.
I'm trying to lure him out here. I wrote a book. I cook great stuff. You know, he'll be here sooner or later.
Do you guys flash gang signs at each other when you meet East Coast, West Coast, when you guys meet up?
Yes, indeed.
And so yeah, what a busy couple. And so now you've written this cookbook, and tell me your inspiration behind it. Clearly, it comes from your roots.
Well, I spent a lot of time as a kid. I grew up in Southern California, and I spent a lot of time on the Hollister Ranch when I was growing up. But then, you know, it got sold, and that wasn't a possibility anymore. And I think ever since then, living in Europe, living in New York, living in Oregon, I've always been trying to get back to that sensibility.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find anywhere else in the world ever that has it other than the Central Coast.
And people say that all the time, that it is like a throwback. We haven't been tainted yet, you know?
You know, I call it Tuscany with cowboys.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good description, actually.
Well, you've got all these wonderful things to eat. You've got, maybe they don't have avocados in Tuscany, but look what we have. We have radicchio and olives and olive oil, and we have wine, and we have fantastic fish, and we have artichokes, and it doesn't get any better than this. And yet, it's a real place, and that's why there's a turquoise pickup truck on the cover of the book. I
love it. In fact, for those people that are watching online via Eat, Drink, Explore right now, you can see on our video simulcast a cover of the book. I love the pickup, and this pickup exists at a local winery.
It does. It's up at Dubost Ranch, they're just wonderful people, wonderful wine. And, you know, the publisher didn't love that cover. They said, well, can you go back and reshoot it with a picnic basket and a glass of wine? And I said, y'all aren't getting this.
I love when you can say that to a publisher and they still publish your book.
Well, they don't always listen, but
Right.
I was lucky enough to get it pushed through, and it attracts attention. People say, "What's that? Why do you have a pickup truck on a cookbook?" I said, "Because this is not Napa.
Right.
This is the Central Coast, and we're close to our dusty roots."
Yeah, this is Napa 40 or 50 years ago. You know, although we have the current technology with us to make fantastic world-class wines here, so it's unlike Napa that way. but the rustic feel is here. And like you were saying, Tuscany with cowboys, I always think of it as Mediterranean. We've got the typical Mediterranean climate and foods with a mixture of Western and Latin America coming up. So we have, like you said, the avocados and the salsas and the spicy and the pinquito beans and all that.
And this is, I think, more radicchio is grown in California than anywhere else
that
in
right?
the world. Yeah, it's a major crop here, and how delicious. Have you ever cooked radicchio?
I haven't, and it's a superfood. It was just
Yummy.
listed as a superfood recently. We had somebody on the show to talk about that. Let's talk about a couple of your recipes in here that you have. You really focus on a lot of different things. You can have anything from a full, main course, but also some like starter salads and all that sort of thing.
Well, I think a lot of people in this region entertain at home a lot because they collect good wines, and so they want to show them off. And so I did a huge chapter in the beginning called Magic Hour Grazing, with lots of little snacky things. Some are easy, some are more involved. Mostly they're really easy, like roasted potatoes and chorizo on a skewer. I mean, you pop that now. You've encouraged your red wine, and also raw oysters with a Sauvignon Blanc and saffron granitas.
I saw that.
I mean, it's so easy. You just put the wine and the saffron in the freezer, stir it up with a fork, and then plop it on top of your raw oysters. Oh, so deliciously cool.
I'm a mostly vegan, but what vegans lack is B12. Oysters and clams are incredibly high in B12, and they also don't have a brain or a very well-developed central nervous system. So vegans can feel a little bit better about,
Nice.
There's a lot of debate in that community regarding it, but I'm one of those that will eat the shellfish, and so I saw that in there, and I thought, that sounds good. I have your marker that came with the book that I slid in for the Israeli couscous salad with almonds, blood oranges, and Greek olives. We're in olive country here, and like we mentioned at the top of the show, almonds, 2 billion pounds of them will be made in California.
And that's why that dish is in there. And actually, that dish was featured in Food and Wine Best of Recipes of the Year.
Really?
Yeah.
And all of these recipes are yours?
They are all mine. There are books where people go out and talk to the wineries and get, Aunt Charlotte's best potato salad, but this wasn't that. For me, it was, I developed recipes for Williams-Sonoma and Weber Grills, and that's what I love to do. And be confronted with the bounty of this county, how could I not do it?
The bounty of the county. I love that. It sounds like a Kenny Rogers song or something. I don't know. I like that a lot. All right. Since the Central Coast is known for its grilling, I mean, in a moment, Brigit, if you'll be sitting here for a few more minutes, it'll waft in eventually. The smells of the farmer's market will come up here, and you'll smell that tri-tip and the corn. What's your favorite grill piece in here?
I have to say it's the grilled lobster with Syrah butter.
With Syrah butter? Mm-hmm. So does Syrah mix with butter? How do you make that happen?
Well, you reduce your wine down with some shallots until it's kind of syrupy. Takes about 15 minutes, and let it cool, and then you just beat it into some softened butter. Now you have Syrah butter. And I was told by a winemaker up in Paso, Stefan Aseo of L'Aventure, that Syrah goes really well with shellfish. And I was like, really? Okay, try that. But if you can drink Syrah with shellfish, why can't you just eat Syrah with shellfish?
Isn't that a good point? I like that. Do you incorporate wine into, since it is a wine country cookbook, do you incorporate it into a lot of the recipes featured?
Absolutely, Randall. I call it wine friendly and wine inclusive cooking.
We want to be wine inclusive, yes.
Always.
And so what do you find works better, whites or reds when cooking? I use a lot of white wine when cooking. I only use red because red has such a large color variant, color factor. I feel like the dish needs to be dark to begin with before I'll use the reds. But How do
I
you
agree.
feel?
It could be unappetizing in certain dishes.
And I've done that where it really makes it's about visual also.
Well, you must always think about eating it with your eyes first before you eat it with your mouth. But I think there are many recipes where the red wine does do well. Usually it's braises and it might be with pork, but you can also put white wine with pork. But I think that the lobster with the Syrah butter is a great example of, you could also do salmon with the Syrah butter.
Oh, yeah.
Salmon and red wine are very happy together.
My mouth is watering. Like, seriously, that always happens when you bring someone on that wrote a cookbook, right? I mean,
It's a dangerous business.
that's the whole purpose, exactly. The new Wine Country Cookbook, #8 on Amazon right now. Recipes from California's Central Coast. Author Brigit Binns, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank
and
you.
It's Brigit Binns, that's with 2 N's.com, BRIGITBINNS.com. We have a link at Eat, Drink, Explore under today's program summary. We link you directly to the book page of her website, but I encourage you to look through her entire website because there's a lot of great information there. Brigit, thank you again.
Thanks.
All right, stick around, everyone. Just after the break, we'll be giving away those tickets to Flavor of SLO and also get a list of the entertainment at tonight's Farmers Market. You're listening to Market Fresh.
It's Market Fresh on Krush 92.5 FM.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit PesticideFreeLawns.org, the folks who brought you this public service message. Check out PesticideFreeLawns.org today.
Can we have your attention for a moment? Eat, Drink, Explore Media has an important date we want to share with you. Saturday, July 13th. We invite you to join us at a craft beer and food event like no other. At last count, generous samples from more than 70 breweries will be paired with culinary treats for the 2013 Breast Fest along San Francisco's waterfront at Fort Mason. Going on its 14th year, the annual Breast Fest has grown dramatically, raising money for an incredibly important cause, providing free, complimentary treatments for women battling breast cancer. The Charlotte Maxwell Clinic offers services such as acupuncture, massage, organic foods, and transportation. The clinic's core mission to provide relief from the terrible side effects of cancer and its treatments. Eat, Drink, Explore Media is very proud to be among the main sponsors for this year's event. For more information, go to thebreastfest.org.
Market Fresh, broadcasting live from the heart of downtown San Luis Obispo. Here's your host, Randall White.
5:49 now the time here on this beautiful Thursday evening, and I mean it is an absolutely stunning Thursday evening. Right now, just about 75 degrees as we start the market. We're looking for a chill down, though, as we head toward 9 o'clock. 56 degrees is the forecasted high. Absolutely clear skies. Winds 7 to 11 miles per hour. Right now, those winds feel nice, though. Moving through our studio, we have it's warm up here. Coastal fog. There might be some thin fog developing late. Nothing that will affect your fun at the market, however. All right, I am your host, Randall White, and joining us from the Lido deck, as we like to call it, is our Market Fresh reporter. Hold on one second here. I just got to do a little action with the video simulcast. High above the Court Street shops is our Market Fresh Cruise Director, reporter Jen Young. And Jen, you have somebody with you tonight.
Yes, I do, Randall. I will be your farmers market cruise director tonight. I know we talked about that earlier.
Yes.
But I'm with Miles Fairchild. He's the marketing coordinator for an event that's happening on Sunday, Cinco de Mayo. It's called Flavor of SLO. It's a great event going on, and I'm here to talk to Miles about it. So, Miles, can you tell me what is Flavor of SLO for people who don't know about it?
So basically, Flavor of SLO is an event that's been getting put on for the past 5 years. This is the 5th annual Flavor of SLO event. And basically what it's committed to is serving local foods and wineries and beers around San Luis Obispo.
Okay, and I know, how much are the tickets?
Tickets are $30 right now for students, and I believe $45 for adults.
Okay, and now I know the proceeds go to a good cause. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, the proceeds go towards United Way, which is a nonprofit that has been around in San Luis Obispo for for a long time, and it's got its roots pretty deep in the community. And basically, it's just dedicated to helping out with unfortunate families, goes towards schools, and pretty much anything that's a need in the San Luis Obispo County.
That's great. That's an awesome cause.
Yeah.
Now, you are a fellow Cal Poly student, graduating this year like I am. So I know the event is student run. Could you tell me a little bit about how you came about being a part of this event?
Yeah, basically it started a few years ago. Like I said, this is the 5th annual, and initially that was someone's senior project. But now it's kind of fallen back to a variety of students. I myself am a journalism major. We have a few business majors with us. And so we're kind of all over the place. We're kind of each utilizing our different skills to put the event together. So it's great because we all got to kind of see what we can do.
Great. And where can they find this event, and what time is it going to be going on Sunday?
The event starts at 1 p.m. at the Jack House and Gardens off of Marsh Street. And you can buy tickets online now at www.flavorofslo.com. We also have a Facebook event page. Just look up Flavor of SLO on Facebook.
Okay, and I know there was some confusion about the Facebook page. It's Flavor of SLO 2012. That is the right page. Facebook's got some issues, but we'll find it. You can find it, and we'll link on the site. Now, Randall, I know we were going to give away a pair of tickets. Do we have a winner?
I'll tell you what, I just posted a link on our Facebook page that says, we need a winner. Like this post, and you're entered for a pair of tickets to Flavor of SLO. So I'm going to hold off here. So people that are listening right now, go to facebook.com/eatdrinkexplore. And the first couple of people that like it, we'll just draw one of those names and boom, 2 tickets to that really great event.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can't go wrong with this event. It's a great event. Food tasting, wine tasting, beer tasting. Like us on Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, how easy is that? For a pair of free tickets. A pair of free tickets. It doesn't take much work. So, so get on it. I'll let you get back to your interviewing, Jen.
Thanks. Well, thank you, Miles.
Yes, thank
and
you.
I'm going to check that event out on Sunday. Thank you so much.
All right.
And now I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's going on at Farmers tonight. It is beautiful weather, and we have a lot going on. It is the first Farmers of May, and allergy season is in full bloom, and I'm definitely experiencing it. So on Napomo Street, Lord of the Cello is back. And that's Marston Smith. He plays a 6-string electric cello, and he designed it himself. I checked him out a few weeks ago. It was so interesting. It was nothing like I've seen before. His music's kind of a combo of symphonic rock, Celtic, medieval. You have to see it to believe it. Go and check it out on Nipomo Street. Now, what else do we got going on here? On Broad Street, Sir Bounce-A-Lot is here. So if your kids have all kinds of energy, take them here, let them bounce, and they will sleep so well tonight. Trust me. On Garden Street, Music Motive is going to be there, and they're going to have Bucket Busters out tonight. So what it is, it's a group of kids who will be performing percussion on 5-gallon buckets, kind of like Stomp. If you've ever seen the play Stomp, something like that. And what they do is they're collecting donations, and the money goes to kids who would not otherwise be able to take music lessons. And the donations go to providing kids with music lessons. Now on Choro Street, Something Ridiculous is back, and I saw them last time they were here. It was awesome. They were climbing on ladders, they were juggling machetes and bowling balls. It was scary but exciting at the same time, and kids loved it. Everybody was excited, and it was a great experience. So definitely check them out on Choro Street. And lastly, on Morrow Street, Crustacea Jazz Band is back again, and they're kind of a Dixieland jazz kind of group. They originated in New Orleans, and they're great music. Grab some food and go out and watch them, because it's definitely going to be fantastic. And that's the entertainment we have tonight, Randall.
All right, Jen. Well, I'll tell you what, we have a winner now for the ticket giveaway. It is George Brush the Fourth. Looks like he's a Cal Poly student on top of it. So
fantastic.
Keeping it local, right? George Brush, congratulations. 2 tickets to Flavor of SLO this weekend. That should be a lot of fun. Jen, as always, thank you so much for your information.
Thanks, Randall. All
right, time now to get that Market Fresh forecast. 75 beautiful degrees outside right now, and cool down, though. Bring a wrap if you're going to be here for any length of time, because we could drop by about 20 degrees by 9 o'clock. Crystal clear blue skies out there. You have to love that. And the winds, anywhere between 7 and 11 miles per hour. They will die down as the evening continues. So while it'll get cooler, it won't be nearly as windy. Coastal fog, we're looking for very little thin layer of developing late in the evening, so nothing that'll affect this tonight's market anyway. All right, so great guests on the show today. It really was a fun lineup. Thank you to Renee Sharp with the Environmental Working Group. And if you want that list of the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15, just head to our website, Eat, Drink, Explore. Go to the Market Fresh page, and you'll find all the links here. Also for Robin Gable with SLO Creek Farms and her really fun Apple Blossom Festival. Absolutely free this week. Free family-friendly entertainment. Brigit Binns, author of the new Wine Country Cookbook. I've had it for days. I've been able to thumb through it, and lots of great recipes listed in there. And then thank you to Miles Fairchild, our last guest there, for the Flavor of SLO ticket giveaway. If you didn't win the tickets today, we'll be giving another pair away on Sunday morning, 8 to 10, with our Eat, Drink, Explore radio show that airs live each week. All right, I'm your host, Randall White, saying for all of us here at Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, sink your teeth into something Market Fresh.
It's Market Fresh on Krush 92.5 FM.